I'm done. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, good morning, scholars and staff. It is now 7:31. We're going to go ahead and get started with some morning announcements today. Happy Monday, October 11th, 2021, and it is the 9th week in the Eagle's Nest. And man, I'm excited to see everybody this morning. Hey, I know that it's a Monday, but let's shake off those cobwebs, right? Little Halloween cobwebs that are coming soon, because it's going to be a great week in the Eagle's Nest. Excited to see everybody this morning. I know Mondays, it takes us a little bit to get into it, but guess what? We're going to get into it today, and we're going to have a fantastic day. You should see on the screen right now today's date, of course, being October 11th. We're going to go through a few things this morning. They're all going to be on the slides, so looking forward to you being able to see those this morning. First things first, as always, we want to make sure that we're following our Fairview 5. So take a second and look at those 5 that are on the screen. Remember, those 5 things are not just things that we say every single day. They are those, but they're also things that we want to make sure that we are following each and every day in the Eagle's Nest. So we're number 1, we're actively listening to the speaker. Actively means that I'm listening with my eyes and my ears, right? And also I'm listening with my mouth, because if my mouth is moving when my teacher is teaching, that means I'm not actively listening or participating, right? So I'm participating with my mouth when I'm called on and making sure that I'm tracking my teacher everywhere they are inside the classroom. Number 2, we want to keep our hands and feet to ourselves. Number 3, we're cleaning up our area. Number 4, we're being kind to others with our words and actions. And number 5, we are doing our best each and every day in the Eagle's Nest. Hey, we also have a scholar pledge, and it says, as a Fairview scholar, I choose integrity, excellence, and teamwork. Today, I will soar to new heights and do my best. I'm a Fairview Eagle, and I will be successful. You will be successful today in the Eagle's Nest because you are an elite scholar. One of the ways that you can continue to be an elite scholar is to earn Class Dojo points. Remember, that key word is earn those Class Dojo points. And 75 points is what you're going to need for the next Scholar Dollar store, which is coming on October 21st. So just about a week or so away, and you can earn a trip to the Scholar Dollar store so you can spend your well-earned points. Another way to be an elite scholar is to become a Scholar of the Week. So we've had, I think, 7 weeks worth of Scholars of the Week now. So looking forward to seeing who our next Scholars of the Week are going to be. And then also our next level championship belts. These are our current champions and our current classroom champions. So looking forward to seeing who will be the next level champion. So the time starts now to be able to earn those, and to, if you are one of those classrooms, to keep those, because you want to make sure that you are continuing to be great inside the Eagle's Nest. So on this slide right here, we've been celebrating National Hispanic Heritage Month. So it started all the way back September 15th. So it goes all the way till Friday. But just a couple of quick things about it. We've talked about a couple of people, and then we actually read a story for 2 or 3 weeks. But National Hispanic Heritage Month actually started way back in the year 1968. And it was just a week-long celebration. So it started on September 15th and then ended on the 21st of September. The president then, Lyndon B. Johnson, it was said it was a week-long celebration, of course, for the Hispanic Americans and all of the things that they've done for America and beyond. But in 1988, the year 1988, it was expanded to a month-long celebration by then President Ronald Reagan. And so therefore, we have been celebrating it from September 15th to October 15th since the year 1988. So over 30 years, it has been a month-long celebration. So if you remember correctly, we were reading a text called Separate is Never Equal. And it was about Sylvia Mendez and her family's fight for desegregation. It looked like this. If you see me in the bottom corner of your screen, or wherever I may be on your screen, this was the text that it looked like. And I got this text, by the way, from the Fairview Library, right? Miss Mahan's got a lot of good things down there that you can check out. And so I showed you a couple of pictures, but on Friday, but I wanted to make sure that you got to see them a little bit bigger today. And I found a couple of other things that I wanted you to take a look at. So check out the screen. So we're talking about Sylvia Mendez throughout the text. And it wasn't until 1946, 47, when that court case happened, that she and her family were able to desegregate those schools in California. But this is a picture from her 1944 school class, or her first grade class. Sylvia is in there somewhere, right? And look at the school. It's in Hoover School, Hoover Elementary. And if you remember, it was Westminster School and Hoover School. So Hoover was the school where all of the Mexican-American children went to. It wasn't as great. Remember that word, inferior, to Westminster School, and her dad and mom and all the people that signed the petition wanted to make sure that they were getting her and her brothers and sisters and everybody else that didn't look like the kids at Westminster to be able to have a chance to go there. So this was her first grade picture. A lot of scholars in that classroom, right? Then take a look at this. These are some other pictures. You saw a picture of the Mendezes on Friday, but I wanted you to take a look again. So that is Mr. Mendez. And then, of course, Miss Mendez from their right when they began kind of the plight of wanting to make sure that they were fighting for desegregation. So this is an earlier picture, but it gives you a chance to see what they look like. And then over to the right, that's Hoover Elementary School. See that big fence that's just covering the front of the school? You got a lot of bushes in front. Even like I'm looking at the walkway right there, like where the fence opens up, and there's a bush right there. So I don't even know how you get into the school. But Hoover Elementary School, back where we showed that first grade picture, that is where Sylvia first went to school when she was denied access into Westminster School. And remember when I told you on Friday and beyond that, you know, back in these days in the late 1940s, 50s, 60s, there were no cell phones, right? So there was no social media. So it was all about the newspaper. The newspaper was everything. So newspapers are still around today. They're just not, of course, as popular as social media and as television and stuff like that. But this was the actual newspaper article from the Los Angeles Times, one of the most popular newspapers in the country. It still is in circulation today. But check that out. That was from February of 1946. And it says ruling gives Mexican children equal rights. And we know, of course, after reading that text on Friday and beyond, what that meant and who actually set that into fruition. So take a look at this. This was a school in Berkeley, California. So Berkeley, California is about 2,500 miles to the west of North Carolina. So if we got in a car right now and headed west, we'd probably make it there in about 3 days if we just kept on driving, right? If we flew in a plane, probably take about 3-4 hours. But with that, in that school right here, this was a school in Berkeley, California. It was one of the first elementary schools in Berkeley, California. And I want you to recognize the name of the school. So in 2018, just 3 years ago, they changed the name of the school to Sylvia Mendez School. So they named the auditorium after, of course, Sylvia Mendez School Auditorium. And over on the right, you see the picture of Sylvia Mendez School. So when we're going to talk about a word here in just a few moments, but just know that this all happened, right? Mr. Mendez, Miss Mendez, Sylvia, her brothers and sisters, 1946, 1947. And here we are in 2018, all right, just 3 years ago. And look at the impact that story made as they named a school after Sylvia Mendez in California, the same place 40 years earlier that she wasn't able to go to a school, and now they named a school after her. And what's cool about this school is a dual language program. So when you go there, you can learn English and you can learn Spanish, right? Which is very ironic based on her story. And so there's a dual language program. Back in the 1940s, there was no such thing as a dual language program. But here there clearly is today in California. And then this is from 2011. This is Sylvia Mendez receiving the highest honor that you can receive as a human being from the president. And it is the Presidential Medal of Honor by then President Barack Obama. And that is Sylvia Mendez. And that was about 10, 11 years ago that she received that award for all of the great things that she has done in her life. And it leads me to our last thing for today before I cut you loose. It's this word integrity. Now, above me, you see the word excellence. We'll talk about that word soon. But the word integrity means doing the right thing, even when you don't think anybody is watching, right? So we talk about integrity, excellence, and teamwork all the time. So integrity, doing the right thing even when you don't think anybody is watching. So think about it for just a minute. Don't shout it out. Just think for just a moment this morning. How did Sylvia Mendez and her family show integrity? Think about that this morning. How did they show integrity? If you're thinking to yourself, well, maybe they showed integrity by, hey, not giving up when other people were saying, you can't do this, you can't do this. It would have been so easy for them to sit at home and say, man, this is unfair. I don't want to do this. I can't stand this. We're just going to go somewhere else, live somewhere else. But instead, they used that time to plan, get petitions signed, and have that integrity to do the right thing, even when they didn't think somebody was watching. And look at how that integrity held true all the way through Sylvia's life, right? She was in what, second, third, fourth grade when the schools were desegregated back in the late 40s, and then they named a school after her in 2018. So integrity, continuing to do the right thing. Sylvia spent the rest of her life and still does fighting, right, for equal rights, specifically for Mexican American children. And so that word integrity means so much more than just a word, right? Doing the right thing when no one's watching. So I ask you today, how can you show integrity this week in the Eagle's Nest? Think about it for just a moment as I undo my screen and I bring it back up to full here. Think about how you can show integrity this week, even when you don't think anybody is watching. So I'll give you a couple of examples this morning. One way that you can show integrity, right? I've got my lanyard and I've got my one card right here. So I can have my one card out because we're looking for that at all times, right? So if you've got yours tucked in behind your shirt, or if you've got yours balled up on your desk, or if you've got yours in your pocket or your backpack, that's no good. There's no integrity there. Integrity means I'm doing the right thing even when I don't think anybody is noticing. But somebody is always noticing. So I'm going to wear that with integrity today because that's what is asked of me. I'm also going to have integrity if I wear my mask today. And I'm not going to wear it like this all day. I'm not going to wear it like this all day. I want to make sure that it's covering my mouth and nose at all times right now to make sure that I am keeping everybody else healthy and safe. But that is a great way to show integrity. And last but not least, following the Fairview Five. Even if you don't think anybody's watching, I guarantee you somebody is. That is how you can show integrity today inside the Eagle's Nest. And hey, I'm looking forward to seeing you in action today. It is now 7:43. Time to cut you loose so you can do great things today. Looking forward to closing out our unit this week on Hispanic Heritage Month and also doing a couple of other great things. Remember, try to be a Scholar of the Week this week and start your Monday off on the right foot today. Remember to be great because you are great. Have an excellent Monday.